Welcome to Chemistry Fundamentals. I am Dr. Rajiv Oberoi. We are dealing with the laws of chemical combination. The laws of chemical combination. So, what is meant by chemical combination first? So, we say if element combines to form molecules, that is, if atoms are combining, suppose A is one element, B is another, if they combine to form AB. So if these elements are combining to form compound, that is atom combines to form molecule, that is the reactant converts into product. This conversion of reactant into product, that is element into compounds, that is atom into molecule, is termed as chemical combination because it involves formation of bond. This is called as chemical combination because it involves the chemical bond formation between two atoms. So A is one atom, say B is another. It reacts to form AB. Between A and B, chemical bond is formed, therefore it is termed as chemical combination. Now this chemical combination follows certain laws. They are termed as law of conservation of mass. The second one is law of constant or fixed proportion. The third one is law of multiple proportion. Next is law of reciprocal proportion, or also called as law of equivalence. And last one is Gay-Lussac law. So these are the 5 basic laws on the basis of which the fundamental chemistry proceeds. So these laws are the backbone of chemistry because all chemical combination that takes place, it follows one of these laws. So let us deal with these laws one by one. So first we begin with law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass. This law was proposed by father of modern chemistry, Antoine Lavoisier, in 1774. Lavoisier proposed this law in laid back in 1974. What does this law says? This law says that matter can neither be created nor it can be destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another. During a chemical reaction or a chemical conversion, matter is neither created nor it is destroyed. Since matter is neither created nor it is destroyed, it is converted from one chemical form to another chemical form. It gets converted from one chemical form to another chemical form. Therefore, the mass of reactant always equal to the mass of the product. The mass of the reactant is always equal to the mass of the product. So during a chemical combination, the mass remains unchanged. Whatever is the mass of reactant would be the mass of the product. Let us discuss an example to elaborate this concept. Suppose I have taken this Lavoisier container, also called as the H container. The Lavoisier container, which is also termed as H container, in which there are two containers, two limbs, which are attached from the upper end. So in one of the limb I have taken AgNO3, which is dissolved in water called as aqueous AgNO3. In another I have taken NaCl, aqueous NaCl. We have taken aqueous AgNO3 and aqueous NaCl. Now this AgNO3 plus NaCl plus container. Now suppose if weight of aqueous AgNO3 plus aqueous NaCl plus this container, weight of this mass of reactant. The mass of reactant, say it is x gram. AgNO3 is one reactant and NaCl is another. So suppose if mass of the reactant AgNO3 plus NaCl plus the container, say mass of the reactant is X. Now since these two components are present separately, initially there is no reaction going on. So if AgNO3 and NaCl together makes weight equal to X grams, suppose mass of reactant X. Now if we turn this container upside down, if this is turned upside down, then the two component comes in contact. Now when they come in contact, they start reacting. So when AgNO3 react with NaCl, this Ag and this Cl results in formation of AgCl, which is water insoluble, therefore forms precipitate. Plus this Na, this NO3 forms NaNO3, that is nitrate of silver, chloride of sodium, converting into chloride of silver and nitrate of sodium. So means there is outright chemical change. It was silver nitrate, sodium chloride, now it is silver chloride, sodium nitrate. There is outright change, but observation is, suppose if mass of the reactant is X, the mass of the reactant before the reaction is X and mass of the product after the reaction is Y. The mass of the product after the reaction Y, then observation is that this X is equal to Y. As per this law, this X, the mass of reactant is equal to mass of product, means there is a chemical change taking place, nitrate of one, chloride of the other, converting into the chemical change is taking place, but still there is no change in the mass. Whatever may be the mass of the reactant would be the mass of the product, that is value of X, mass of reactant, is equal to value of Y, that is mass of the product. This is what law of conservation of mass is all about, which says that substance can neither be created nor it can be destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another during a chemical reaction. There is no change in the mass. Mass is conserved. Now if we take a question to explain this concept, a question is given that if 6.4 grams of sodium bicarbonate NaHCO3 is added to 7 grams of acetic acid, as the result 4.5 grams of CO2 got released and mass of the residue was found to be 9.5 grams. Prove that law of conservation of mass is followed, giving chemical equation in support. So we have to prove that these values are in accordance with the law of conservation of mass. Very important, we have to write a balanced chemical equation. Let's deal with the solution of this numerical problem. So we have been given NaHCO3 sodium bicarbonate. NaHCO3 sodium bicarbonate. How much? 6.4 gram is given in the question. Next we have been given acetic acid CH3COOH acetic acid. How much? 7.6 grams. Now when this sodium bicarbonate comes in contact with acetic acid, this is acid, this is base, acid base reaction takes place. What happens? This Na combines to CH3COO. CH3COOH ionized to give CH3COO1 minus NH plus. That is, it gives acetate ion and H plus ion. To this acetate ion, sodium ion combines. So CH3COO Na is formed. CH3COO CH3COO is called as acetate and A attached called as sodium acetate. It is a salt. Number 1. Number 2, the H from here, 1 H from here and 1 H from here. 1 H from here and 1 H from here and 1 of the O from CO3. So H1, H2 and 1 O from CO3 results in formation of H2O. CO3 converts into CO2 and got released. So which means sodium bicarbonate when made to react with acetic acid, it results in formation of sodium acetate plus water plus CO2 is getting released. The weight of NaHCO3 is 6.4 grams. That of acetic acid is 7.6. So we can say that mass of reactant is 6.4 plus 7.6, that is total 14 grams. The mass of the reactant is 14 grams. What about the mass of the product? The mass of the product is comprised of, three components. Sodium acetate is one component, water is another component. These two components together is termed as residue, whose mass is given how much? 9.5 grams. And CO2 got released, whose weight is given 4.5 grams. So the mass of the product, so this is 1, 2, 3 product. These together is 9.5 and this is 4.5. That is mass of product is 9.5 plus 4.5. Again it is 14. So since mass of reactant is 14, mass of product is also 14, we can say mass of reactant is equal to mass of product. Therefore law of conservation of mass is followed. So what we have to do, we were asked to prove that law of conservation of mass is followed, but very important, we are required to write a balanced chemical equation. So we have written a balanced chemical equation. We have written their mass, and the masses get balanced. That is, mass of the reactant, combined mass of the reactant is coming to be the combined mass of the product. That is, mass of reactant is equal to mass of product. Hence law of conservation of mass get applicable. So this is how we solve the numerical based on law of conservation of mass. So this is the first law of conservation of mass, which says substance can neither be created nor it can be destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another. During the conversion, the mass remains unchanged, mass remains conserved. This is law of conservation of mass.